is my baby.
Hello everyone, I am Melissa Bondi.
I'm Dana Denha, and this is Adventures in Parenthood. Throughout this series, we will explore the world of raising kids from newborn through adulthood.
Raising children comes with its fair share of costs, diapers, food, clothes, and the list goes on. And nothing seems more financially daunting than the cost that's associated with higher education, aka college. So both Dana and I are going to have this to deal with in the future.
Right around the same time, too.
Exactly. So as far as savings, we talked a little bit about have we started? Are we going to start? What's the best plan? Have you started anything?
No.
Okay, all right.
No, I haven't.
Dana has not started yet. Okay.
I just don't even know where to start.
Where to begin.
I just feel like I need to talk to someone about it
Sure.
to kind of see where to begin. What's my best option to get the most bang for the buck I'm putting in?
Yeah, I agree. I think we started basic with a savings account at our bank.
Yeah.
And that's money for birthdays and baptisms and Christmas. Anything, her money goes right there. But that was easy peasy, that was kind of no-brainer. But we wanted to put it somewhere that getting a little bit of interest. But I know that
a savings account you're barely getting any interest at all on. So
right. And when I grew up, I know my parents had mutual funds when we were young, and we weren't touching it, and we still have them, fortunately, and I'm not going to touch. So that's an option too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe this is a topic for the future, like someone to bring on to talk about it.
They say to start when they're young, and obviously both of our girls are still young, so I don't think we're too behind on it. But also, we were talking earlier about how much a college education costs in comparison to when we were in college, and the prices changed significantly to the point where if you really looked, and this is in 2019 and we're talking 16 years from now, what is it going to be in 16 years? My financial situation, I don't think it's going to be that much better in 16 years that I'm going to be able to afford whatever that number will be at that time.
Something else I thought about too was just the thought of when it's time to drive. Are you going to buy him a car? Are you going to buy her, is she going to buy it? Is she going to have a job? Those questions that we dealt with too when we were 15, 16,
and that's another
17.
financial hit for you, even if you are letting them drive your own car.
Exactly.
Because insurance goes so high now. I have a sister that has 3 teenagers, and she's like, I can barely pay for my car insurance with 3 teenagers.
Oh my gosh.
So this is all stuff we have to look forward to. But yeah, I guess that's why they say start early with the college education, because you really don't know where you're going to be at.
Right.
When the time comes.
Same thing. You can't predict the future like that. But we know, it's in the back of our minds, like you said, it's there, and it's not going to go away. So
yeah,
the climate and everything will change so much in 16 years or 17 years, whatever. But yeah.
And I think as much as you want your child to be independent, you also don't want them to be financially strapped down for their entire adult life from having to pay for a college education that in 16 years pretty much everyone's still going to need, or even more so you'll need, because they're not going to be hiring people that don't have a degree.
I know. And it's a double-edged sword, I think, with that one too. That's another topic too, as far as community college or university, or what do you choose? But what route do you go? It's so, it's tough. That's tough. That's a good continuation topic, though, for sure, for future shows. So yeah.
We all worry about the cost of tuition, housing, and books when it comes to helping your child build the skills to be independent. But what about single parents or single income households? They have twice the worry with only one income. There is an organization here to help kids whose parents have been catastrophically injured or killed due to work-related injury. Joining me is Brooke Blower and Jackie Schank for Kids Chance of Michigan. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So first, if you'd just like to explain to us what Kids Chance is and why it got started.
So Kids Chance of Michigan is a 501c3 nonprofit who provides college scholarships to children of catastrophically injured or deceased parents that were injured in a work-related accident. We provide $5,000 to universities and $2,500 if a student wants to go to a community college. We were founded 5.5 years ago by a defense attorney in the work comp industry, Marie Feldman. Since then, we've helped more than 25 students in Michigan and have awarded over $400,000 in scholarships. We're all volunteer-based board. We have 15 board members and several corporate sponsors who really help us raise money and support students in Michigan.
What do you, so let me ask, so what, as far as promotion and knowledge of this organization, which is fantastic, which we both just learned about, you know, talking with you both. So where does that fall in line as far as the promotion of it?
Jackie and I have both been in the work comp industry for a very long time, and obviously this is not really a general public issue. It's very focused on work comp. So we reach out to our providers, our physicians, the insurance companies, the adjusters that are handling the claims, the nurse case managers who we say are on the front line with the families dealing with these injuries, and make us aware and get the name out there just so that we are there as a resource.
Okay. And you're local, you're Michigan, you're the Michigan chapter.
We are.
And so are these cases coming from all over the state then, I assume?
Yep, we cover all of Michigan. We're one of over 45 state chapters now, and there's a national umbrella. If a student is below the age, like not ready to go to college yet, they can register on the national website, and national will then kick that student to us when it's time.
So like if they were like 9 years old or something,
Yep.
and then like you wouldn't even maybe think about it.
Yep, they can still qualify.
That's great.
So they can register. It's called planning for college on the national website. Anyone, any age can go on, and then when they're ready to graduate high school, we get an alert, and we get the application, and then we get it going from there.
So it's nice. You don't really even have to think about it if you've been involved in like just an awful situation with one of your parents.
Right. It's nice that no matter the age, you can do it right then, and knowing, you know, going forward when it's time, there should be funds available.
So you mentioned at the beginning you were talking about community college. You get $2,500, $5,000 for a university. Is that per year, per semester?
Per year.
Okay, so that helps. That definitely helps. And then are you guys helping find scholarships and other means?
Not really. We just focus on, you know, helping our kids with just Kids Chance, because they usually have some other resources. And I learned at our national conference that each scholarship can kind of affect other ones. So we need to make sure that we're not going to, you know, give too much money that could affect other loans or scholarships that they're getting.
Because with financial aid, they'll look at how much money you have, and then they'll give you less if it's too much money.
Right.
So yeah.
Yep.
Do you like so on an average year, how many scholarships do you think you're awarding to?
This year, we've hit our most so far as 17 students this year alone.
Okay.
That we're
So
supporting.
Okay. Halfway
this
through the
year.
year almost, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so then these, what's the age of kids? I mean, are we talking like toddlers all the way to?
Oh, no, those are just
You're talking about the 17 kids that are in college this
in
year.
college right now. Those are scholarships being awarded this year.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Got it. Okay.
And then we have a few in the docket, siblings usually, of you know, our current students, and then their siblings are coming up in a few years.
Okay.
And then the national database.
Okay. So I would ask then, as far as like how many, I keep going back to how many, but I think it's pretty fascinating, you know, what you're doing, this service, but you call it a service? I mean, it's just amazing that you're able to award these, you know, unfortunate situations with this type of money. Are you seeking, I know we talked a little bit about corporate, and are you seeking corporate donors for that still? Or
Always.
Okay, of course.
Yep. A few years ago, our board kind of realized that it was much better to get corporate sponsors versus doing a ton of events to raise money, because it's easier on our board, because again, we're all volunteers with full-time jobs. And the corporate sponsorships are kind of like guaranteed money. So we have more than 25 corporate sponsors in Michigan, but our top ones are the Accident Fund Insurance Company, the Work Comp Law Section, Team Rehab Physical Therapy, Concentra Urgent Care, NTech Medical Staffing, the local operating engineers, Local 324 Union, Superior Investigative Services, and Eastern Alliance Insurance Company. So all of our sponsors really are in the work comp industry.
Okay. And do you take like individual donations too?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Yes, absolutely. I donate either on the websites, and checks right from the website can be the address listed there. So, and as well as our events that we're doing 3 events throughout the year that we raise money for the students.
Okay. What would you say is probably, I mean, it's a nonprofit, you're a volunteer board. What are the challenges that you're dealing with when you deal with having to raise funds and, you know, ask for money? But I can't get over just the, you know, who it's going to is so deserving, you know.
It's got to be hard to ask for money, but yes, when you're asking for kids that, like, in a situation that they're in, like I said, I can't even imagine at 36 not having my mom and dad. Like, I don't want to think about life without them. So at a very young age, it's just
thankfully most of our board members really don't have a problem asking for money. I know I certainly don't when it's a good cause. And a lot of these donors we've known for so long just because of the industry, and everyone's willing to give back. When Murray founded Michigan, it was someone from National that approached him and said, you know, we want to open a Michigan chapter and we want you to do it. He said, this is the industry that I've made money on my entire life. Like, this is my career. It's our turn to give back.
Okay. Do you meet these kids that receive, like, what is that like and how is that done? Like, when you meet them who's received their award or scholarship?
We try to get them out to our events to meet our donors and volunteers and everyone, just so that people can put, you know, a face to a name.
Sure.
And see how great these kids really are. So we have a student liaison on our committee, and she works very hard to stay in communication with these kids, which isn't always easy. They're busy. They're in college, and you know, they don't really check emails or answer phones.
Okay.
But when we can get them to our events, we try to do that as much as possible. And we're looking to plan a group lunch this summer while they're all home to get as many just together, and so they can meet each other too.
Sure.
While we're talking about the kids, why don't you tell us about some of the success stories? Because you said this is 5 years now, so maybe some of these kids have some careers now?
They do. Gary, who was one of our first students, his dad was actually killed 2 weeks before he was born. Graduated from U of M as an engineer and is now traveling the country working on, like, Washington, D.C., New York City, on buildings. So he's
awesome. That's
project
amazing.
engineer, and he loves it. Nick is one student that we're currently supporting. His dad fell off a machine at work and suffered a traumatic brain injury. He had almost a full ride to Eastern on a swimming scholarship and graduated early because he's very smart. So we're kind of picking up the slack that his scholarship didn't cover. And their mom is on disability. So there was really a financial need in that house. And now his sister's going to be graduating high school this year, so we'll be supporting her as well.
Okay. So as far as people who may want to be a volunteer or a board member, what's the process as far as that goes?
Volunteers, we welcome to attend our functions, and there's always things, you know, here and there that need to be done. But our board is hardworking. So they're at all the events also helping plan and run it. So volunteers are always welcome to come and help out, and the biggest thing they can do is spread the word or donate money, truly.
Okay. Yeah, because like you mentioned, everyone's volunteer, but you all have full-time jobs.
It's basically you have 2 full-time jobs.
2 full-time jobs, right? So and you all come, well, the backgrounds, as far as your backgrounds.
We mentioned it a little background, right? Both of you.
We're all, we're all from the work comp industry. So I work for Team Rehab Physical Therapy.
I work for many physicians that work and treat the injured worker. So growing up in this environment, we're working with the adjuster, the insurance company, the doctors, the physical therapists, the subacute facilities, and all of those folks are getting that individual back to their maximum medical improvement and may not be going back to work full duty or at work at all. So helps with the eligibility for the student.
It makes sense why you would both be so passionate about this project, because you are seeing firsthand how it's affecting people.
So Jackie, so you've been 5 years with the organization?
Yep, right from the start about. Yep.
So how did you get involved? Forgive me if you mentioned it. I didn't.
Oh, not at all. Brooke and I worked together in the industry for a length of time, and she'd share with me an organization she was working on, and knew that I had worked with many physicians, and if I would be interested in sharing the word and joining the board. And we've been together I've been on there about 3 years, 3.5 years, and it's been an excellent committee group to be a part of and to give back.
Okay, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more from Kids Chance of Michigan. We are back with Brooke Blower and Jackie Schank for Kids Chance of Michigan. Welcome back to the second half of the show.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about Kids Chance of America. If you can talk to us about that.
So Kids Chance of America is the umbrella chapter over all of our states. Kids Chance actually started in Georgia 31 years ago by Bob Clyett, who was an attorney who saw the need, and with the help of the work comp law section in Georgia, got Kids Chance started. And then it started spreading kind of state by state, and people were talking, and it grew, but they wanted more national recognition and coverage, so they started Kids Chance of America in 2007. And they really worked to kind of brand everyone as Kids Chance, so it's the green and blue students is our logo, and they spread that across all the states and then opened up over 30 states, and they continue to open up more states. Our goal is to be in all 50 states. So since Bob Clyett started it 31 years ago, Kids Chance across the country has donated over $20 million to more than 6,500 students.
That's amazing. Is Bob still around to
He
see?
is. Yep.
Yeah.
Bob is still around and
That's
attends
amazing. Yes.
all of our national conferences that we have every year. So, and tells a story every time, and it never gets old.
I mean, it took some time for it to spread, but what'd you say? It's in 45 states
45
right now?
states. And
so you're close.
We're close. I volunteered to open up Hawaii, but
We've not been called yet.
hasn't happened yet.
So then how do you work with the national organization in Michigan?
So national organization, they actually are there to support and have national guidelines, if you will. Each state is run with their own bylaws, but there's a guideline that we all follow. So they help new states get involved with financial support, corporate support in a structure to help them be successful in their state. They have a conference every year. Actually, we were the hosting state last year in Detroit, had a stellar outcome with the folks that came in, and what the platform is there for is to help the different states with different ideas in what other things are successful and not successful, and prepare those new states for success.
So you're all helping each other.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there another one like about to open, or can you say anything?
Yeah, what's on the horizon?
Hawaii is on the horizon, I've heard. Yep.
Yeah.
Alaska's been in talks. So yeah, I just got back from the national conference. It was in the beginning of May. Florida hosted. So it's really nice to get everyone together and really bounce ideas off of each other.
Sure.
And you know, what works in one other state will probably work in our state. So it's nice to hear those success stories.
I mean, I could see in the next couple of years you getting those last 5 states. For
I hope
sure.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it'd be awesome.
So can we talk a little bit about, because you know, you don't really think a lot about the injured worker or people, you know, getting injured and dying at work. Is this a big issue, or is it just sort of like it's kind of small, but it has a big impact?
Well, last year there was 38 deaths in the state of Michigan. Think about that, 38 people did not come home to their families. Thousands of serious injuries. So with that population needing the help with anyone with a child, we can be there. We want to get the word out to more children to know that we're there for them.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, you think the chances of, like, let's say someone loses their life, odds are they have more than one kid in that situation. So, like you said, big brother went to college, little sister's gonna have to go to college too. So it's something that is helping across generations. But what is the eligibility for it?
Well, we have a committee that actually takes a look at someone entering the program and to take a look, was it an injury that occurred at work? Was it a death that occurred at work? Making sure that they do qualify, as well as there's a financial need. After that takes place, then we have a committee that actually prepares them and follows them along their journey.
Okay.
Are there some, just some jobs that you just see it more often?
I was just say, is there an industry that you're seeing this in Michigan?
Well,
not really. I mean, it could the deaths, are usually a freak accident, and it can happen, anywhere.
It actually, like, talking about this made me think of the story from last year where that woman killed the tow truck driver over on 23. So that's just...
Yes.
There's one on the news right now that a delivery man was a hit and run. And we reached out to the family through their GoFundMe, and they already said, yep, we're going to apply. So it's getting that way too, more than just spreading it through our industry, but watching for those news stories and trying to reach out. Because they usually do start a GoFundMe page, and that's where I go on and say, send a message and just say, hey, we're here. When you're ready, please apply. We'd love to help.
Oh, that's fantastic, because that's one thing. I mean, that had to be a game changer for your organization, GoFundMe. Once you see those, I mean, everyone has one in the situation.
Yep.
No matter what it is. Yeah, I would think that. So you're taking the more proactive approach by doing that, by reaching out to them.
Exactly.
Because they may not know.
Yep, and we do have, we work with OSHA, my OSHA, and they send our postcard with every death certificate. But, that's the death ones, not all, just the catastrophically injured. So there's a lot that we don't, we don't get right in front of.
Unless you're working with those companies and they kind of give you a heads up about it.
I would, on average, would you say, I don't know, on a given day or week, like how many inquiries do you receive?
We've received,
or a month, or how do you?
Maybe one or two a month, probably.
Okay.
We've never turned down a student because everyone who's applied has been eligible. And once you're in, you don't have to keep applying, but you do have to maintain a 2.7 GPA.
That's not asking that much.
That's what we,
exactly.
we agree. We want our children to do very well in school, so we hold them to that GPA. And if they need help, or if something is going on in the family that, they might dip below, we'll give them a little grace period, and, things happen. But as long as they can get their GPA back up, then we'll continue supporting them.
And there is an application process that they have to go through.
Yes, and we do have, when Brooke had indicated with the students, we do have someone on the board that acts as a liaison to the student. That someone may, not be going to school, following up with them, texting them, as we talked earlier. Maybe a phone call. The students are answering the phone these days or answering email.
Texting.
We are finding out that texting is the best way to get a hold of them, but helping them get through a possible difficult time as well.
So if you have a student that's received a scholarship and they're going into their freshman year of college, every year, so let's say 4 years, they're going to go, do they have to reapply, or they receive it for their college
They just
career?
have to keep that GPA
They have to
up.
keep the GPA,
Keep the GPA, and then
yep, we'll cover them for the 4 years.
what about going forward higher education? Like,
If we have the funds to do so, then we absolutely will.
okay.
Yep.
Is there a 4-year cutoff? Because the bachelor's degree takes a little longer than 4 years.
No, not a 4-year cutoff. No, not at all.
Okay,
Nope.
yeah, I was just
No,
using
we do
4
not
because
cut our students off.
Well, yeah,
as long as
because I'm just thinking about, like, nowadays, most people it's like 5 and
yeah,
a
5-year
half.
plan.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Nope.
Most are, yeah.
Yep.
So we're almost out of time, but, like, why should people support Kids Chance of Michigan in any way they can? Volunteering, donating, maybe they work for a corporation and bringing it up to the head honchos there.
It's kind of the work comps the world that no one really knows exists.
I think it's something that people don't want to talk about either.
Yeah. So it's just a great organization. Our kids are so great. That's why we like to get them out to meet people, to see, who they're helping, and really promote the higher education for these kids who may have thought that it would never happen because they lost a parent or their parent can't return to work or something like that. So it's something different for people to support.
Right, definitely.
Jackie, did you want to add anything to that? Because you've been working in the industry for 25 years, so I'm sure you've seen some things.
Just with the families and not knowing where to go for resources, and getting in front of those folks. We've been trying to reach more of the high schools and the college counseling environments, because we can definitely go to our insurance industry, which is processing the claim, but we're still not getting the amount of students that we feel we should be getting. So we're doing more to outreach to those areas that are really living it with those children in the schools. That's going to be the key to get. We want more kids.
We do.
More money for more kids.
More money for more kids. That's our hashtag.
Is it?
Hashtag more money for more kids.
Yes.
Okay. Very
All
clever.
Right. Well, thank you both for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
If you have an idea for a parenting show topic or guest, talk to us on Twitter and Facebook at #CTN Ann Arbor.
And for more programming and services at CTN, you can visit us at a2gov.org/CTN and visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to watch our full lineup. And remember to like, comment, and share. And thanks for joining us on this adventure in parenthood.